Hello and welcome to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Jason, your host, and as always, I'm joined by my fantastic co-host, Julia. Hey, Julia.
Hey, Jason. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited about today's episode because we are talking about something that affects so many English learners, overthinking when speaking English.
That's right. Many learners hesitate, pause too much, or even avoid speaking because they're too worried about making mistakes. They think, what if I say the wrong word? What if my grammar is bad? What if people don't understand me?
Exactly. And the problem is, the more you overthink, the harder it gets to speak naturally. Overthinking makes you nervous, slows you down, and actually stops you from improving.
That's why today's topic is just speak, don't overthink. We're going to help you understand why overthinking happens, how to stop it, and how you can start speaking English confidently without fear.
And trust me, I know how it feels. When I was learning a new language, I used to overthink every sentence before speaking. But once I learned how to relax and just say what's on my mind, my fluency improved so much.
That's a great point, Julia. And today, we'll share some practical techniques to help our listeners do the same. So, if you're ready to stop overthinking and start speaking, stay with us, because this episode is going to be life-changing.
Let's get started.
All right, now that we know overthinking is a big challenge for many English learners, let's talk about why it happens. Why do people overthink when speaking English?
Great question, Jason. One of the biggest reasons is the fear of making mistakes. Many learners worry that if they say something wrong, people will laugh at them or judge them.
Yes, and that fear makes them hesitate before speaking. They start thinking, is this the right word? Is my grammar correct? What if I sound silly? And before they know it, they stay quiet instead of speaking.
Exactly. And another reason is translating from their native language. Many learners try to form sentences in their first language first, then translate them into English. But that takes time and makes speaking feel slow and difficult.
That's a great point. If you're always translating in your head, it's like having a delay button. By the time you figure out the right sentence, the conversation has already moved on.
And let's not forget perfectionism. Some learners want to speak like a native speaker right away. They think, I have to use perfect grammar, perfect pronunciation, and the right words. But that's not how learning works.
Yes, trying to be perfect actually slows down your progress. When kids learn to speak, do they worry about grammar? No, they just speak, make mistakes, and learn as they go.
That's so true, Jason. And here's another interesting reason. Lack of confidence. Many learners don't believe in themselves. They think, my English is not good enough, so they hold back.
And the more they hold back, the more they feel stuck. It's a cycle. Fear, overthinking, not speaking, no improvement. But don't worry. Later in this episode, we'll share powerful techniques to break this cycle and just speak.
Yes, so if you've ever hesitated, translated in your head, or stayed quiet because of fear, this next part is for you. We'll now talk about how overthinking affects your fluency and confidence.
Stay with us, because we're going to help you break free from overthinking. So now that we understand why overthinking happens, let's talk about what it actually does to your English speaking skills. How does overthinking affect fluency?
Well, first of all, overthinking slows you down. When you stop to analyze every word, you hesitate, and that makes your speech unnatural. Instead of flowing smoothly, you get stuck.
Exactly. Have you ever had a conversation where you wanted to say something, but by the time you found the right words, the moment was already gone?
Oh, yes. And that's frustrating because the conversation moves fast and you feel left behind. That can make people nervous to speak again.
Right. Another big problem is that overthinking lowers confidence. The more you doubt yourself, the more nervous you feel, and the harder it becomes to speak.
And if you keep overthinking, you might even start avoiding conversations altogether. You think, it's too stressful to speak in English, I'll just listen instead. And that stops you from improving.
That's so true. And here's another effect. Overthinking makes your English sound robotic. Because you're too focused on grammar and correctness, your sentences might sound unnatural instead of conversational.
That's a really good point. In real conversations, native speakers don't speak in perfect sentences. They use simple words, contractions, and even make small mistakes. But they keep going. If you overthink, you lose that natural flow.
Yes, and this is why we need to learn how to stop overthinking and start speaking freely. In the next part, we're going to share powerful strategies to help you break free from this habit and speak English with confidence.
Yes, so if you've ever felt stuck while speaking English, don't worry. We've got solutions coming up. Stay tuned.
All right, now that we understand how overthinking affects our English speaking skills, let's talk about the most important part: how to stop overthinking and start speaking freely.
Yes. The good news is you can train your brain to stop overthinking. And the first step is changing your mindset. Instead of thinking, I must speak perfectly, tell yourself, I just need to communicate.
That's such a powerful shift. Think about it. Communication is not about being perfect. It's about being understood. Even native speakers make mistakes, but they don't stop speaking.
Exactly. And another way to stop overthinking is to think in English instead of translating. If you translate every word from your native language, it slows you down and makes speaking harder.
That's right. So instead of translating, try training your brain to describe things in English. For example, if you see a car, don't think of the word in your language first. Just say car in English.
Yes, another great technique is speaking without stopping. When you practice, don't pause to fix mistakes. Keep going even if it's not perfect.
This is such an important exercise. If you don't know a word, just explain it in a simple way. Instead of stopping because you forgot refrigerator, just say, the thing that keeps food cold.
That's a great tip. And another way to stop overthinking is using filler words. If you're thinking about what to say next, use words like, actually, just like native speakers do.
Yes! This makes your speech sound more natural and gives you time to organize your thoughts. So instead of staying silent, say something like, well, let me think. That way, you keep the conversation going.
And here's my favorite trick. Focus on the message, not the grammar. If you focus too much on grammar, you'll hesitate. Instead, just say what's on your mind.
Absolutely. Think of it this way. Would you rather have perfect grammar but stay silent, or make small mistakes but speak fluently? The goal is fluency, not perfection.
That's so true. So let's quickly recap. Change your mindset. Think in English. Keep speaking without stopping. Use filler words and focus on communication instead of grammar.
Yes! And in the next part, we're going to share practical exercises to help you train your brain to stop overthinking and start speaking naturally.
Get ready because these exercises will change the way you speak English forever.
Now that we've talked about how to overcome overthinking, let's go one step further. We're going to share some practical exercises that will help you stop hesitating and start speaking naturally.
Yes, these exercises are simple but very effective. If you practice them regularly, you'll see a big improvement in your confidence and fluency. Ready for the first one, Jason?
Absolutely. The first exercise is the 1-minute speaking challenge. Here's how it works. Pick a simple topic, like my daily routine or my favorite food, and speak about it for 1 full minute without stopping.
That's a great one. And remember, don't worry about grammar or mistakes. Just keep talking. If you get stuck, use simple words or filler words like or you know but don't stop.
Yes, and you can even record yourself and listen later to see your progress. Now, the second exercise is thinking in English. Instead of translating in your head, describe things around you in English.
For example, if you see a bus, don't think of the word in your native language. Just say, that's a bus, it's big. People use it to go to work. Simple sentences, but all in English.
Exactly. This trains your brain to process English faster and stops the habit of overthinking. Now, another powerful exercise is shadowing.
Oh yes, shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say immediately without pausing. It helps with fluency and pronunciation.
Right. You can do this with English podcasts, YouTube videos, or movies. Just repeat after the speaker, copying their rhythm and intonation.
I love that one. And another exercise I recommend is storytelling. Choose a short story or an experience from your life and tell it in English, even if you're alone.
That's a great idea. You can start with a simple version, then add more details each time. This helps you think and speak without overanalyzing.
Exactly. And one more fun exercise is speaking with AI or a voice assistant. Apps like ChatGPT, Google Assistant, or Siri can respond to your English, so you can practice conversations.
Oh, that's a great modern technique. So, let's quickly recap these exercises. 1-minute speaking challenge, thinking in English, shadowing, storytelling, and speaking with AI.
Yes, if you practice these every day, you'll build confidence, stop overthinking, and start speaking English naturally.
And coming up next, we'll talk about how to stay consistent and make speaking English a daily habit. Stay with us. Now, let's talk about something very important. Changing your mindset about mistakes. A lot of English learners are afraid to speak because they don't want to make mistakes. But here's the truth. Mistakes are part of the learning process.
Yes, in fact, mistakes are not something to fear. They're actually proof that you're learning and improving. Think about it. When a child learns to walk, they fall many times. But do they stop trying?
No way! They keep going, and eventually, they learn to walk. It's the same with English. If you avoid speaking because you're afraid of mistakes, you will never improve.
Exactly. And here's something interesting. Even native speakers make mistakes when they talk. They repeat words, correct themselves, and sometimes say things incorrectly. But do they stop speaking?
Not at all. The difference is they don't let mistakes stop them. And that's the mindset you need. See mistakes as learning opportunities. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new.
That's so true. So instead of thinking, oh no, I made a mistake, you should think, great, now I know what to improve. This positive mindset will make you a confident and fearless speaker.
I love that. So remember, mistakes don't mean failure. They mean progress. Every mistake brings you one step closer to fluency.
And coming up next, we'll talk about how to stay motivated and make speaking English a daily habit. Stay with us.
All right, we've covered a lot today. We've talked about overcoming overthinking, practical exercises to speak confidently, and shifting your mindset about mistakes. Now, before we wrap up, let's share a few final tips to help you stay on track.
Yes. First tip, consistency is key. If you want to improve, make speaking English a part of your daily routine. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, practicing consistently will make a huge difference.
Exactly. And another tip, surround yourself with English. The more you hear and use English in your everyday life, the more natural it will become. Watch English TV shows, listen to podcasts, and engage in conversations as much as possible.
Great advice, and remember, don't aim for perfection. Just keep speaking. The more you speak, the more mistakes you'll make and the faster you'll improve. So embrace those mistakes as part of your journey.
Absolutely. And finally, if you ever feel stuck, find a speaking partner or join a community of learners. Practicing with others makes a big difference and helps keep you motivated.
That's right. So now it's time for your challenge. We want you to start speaking today. Pick one of the exercises we mentioned earlier and commit to speaking English every day. Whether it's a short conversation, storytelling, or the 1-minute challenge. Just speak.
Yes! And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you can continue to improve your English and get more tips on speaking confidently. We're here to support you every step of the way.
Thank you for listening, and remember, just speak, don't overthink, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care and happy speaking.